Time now for your forewarned weather with Cedric Haynes.
Okay, we're talking ice skating and fog tonight. A lot of fun things,
Yeah,
right?
all sorts of stuff, Cedric.
You know, sometimes those even go together sometimes. You get the moisture from the fog to create kind of a little ice skating rink on those elevated surfaces. Hopefully we don't see too much of that tonight, but we do have these dense fog alerts in effect. And folks, if you've been on the roadways tonight, you know why. Man, that visibility is pretty bad out there, especially Cache Valley down through Ogden and right on into the Salt Lake Valley, also the Tooele Valley as well. All these places here, you're close to the Great Salt Lake. You get that moisture, that water vapor that evaporates during the day, and it gets trapped when it hits the inversion layer. And so at nighttime, as the temperature falls close to the dew point, that fog festers and becomes an issue, and it's really out there tonight. So slow it down, folks. Here's the view outside the ABC4 studios, and again, you can see, hard to see. This is looking at 215 there, and it's really hard to tell the traffic is moving there. 27 degrees, and again, you can see visibility is tough at best. Here's another view from I-15 looking southbound, and again you can see a lot of brake lights on, a lot of these headlights coming into view, but again leave plenty of following space between you and the vehicle in front of you, because again with this visibility you're going to go through areas where the visibility is low, and then you're going to run through a brief area where the visibility may be at zero, like a goose egg. You can barely see in front of you, and then it may improve a little bit, but still get rid of the high beams out there for you tonight. And again, take your time to get to where you need to be. And of course, make sure you stay focused on the road. That means not necessarily trying to find the right song, trying to make sure that you're staying in between the dashed lines there on the roadway. And of course, if you're wondering if I'm still on the road, just look for that solid line on the right side of the car. That'll keep you at least on the road as you try to drive when the visibility really drops off. Look at these temperatures though, in the 20s across most of the area here now. So this is definitely some freezing fog out there, which means it could be some isolated slick spots. I don't think we have enough moisture for it to be widespread, but still just know a couple of slick spots are possible. It's still 49 degrees though in St. George. Now by tomorrow morning, even St. George, I think you wake up to temperatures flirting with the freezing mark. The rest of the area in the teens and 20s out there. And again, some of that patchy freezing fog will be possible. So for tomorrow morning, if you're up early, it's definitely going to be the dense fog that's the issue. But once we get the daylight, the sun starts to come up. We may get rid of the fog, but the widespread haze is going to be there, so it's going to be as thick as fog out there. So that's really not going to be a lot of big improvements for us. As we go throughout the day on Saturday, we're looking for highs in the 40s again, so rinse and repeat when it comes to these temperatures. And then notice close to 60 down towards St. George. But yeah, the haze is going to be one of those big stories again. The air quality definitely going to be in that code orange again as well. You can see the Ensign Peak. This was snapped at about 2:30 today. I took this snapshot, and you can see just a sheet of white here. Yes, Salt Lake Valley is down there, but it's hard to tell, folks. You can't even see the mountaintops. That's pretty bad. And tomorrow, more of the same. Code orange again for the metro area from Ogden down through Salt Lake City and Provo. And then surrounding that, we're in the moderate category. So again, it's going to be tough sledding to scour out this smog that we have in place because of this inversion. High pressure acting like a lid, trapping all of that smog and particles all down towards the surface there along the valley floors. But as we've been talking about, here's our inversion buster, as we like to call it. It's going to make its way up into Canada and then drop down. It's not going to bring a ton of moisture with it because it's got to go up and down. But by the time it gets here, it will bring the wind and the colder air, and that will help scour out the inversion. So here's how it plays out on Futurecast. High pressure settling in as we go throughout your Saturday, but it starts to break down, and that'll allow the system that goes up into Canada to drop down. So the front comes through dry as we get into Sunday morning, and then notice as we get into your Sunday night into Monday, maybe a few snow showers, but again, not looking like a big system by any means. St. George, sunshine, upper 50s to the upper 40s by the middle of next week. Look at those lows into the 20s. The Wasatch Front, hazy sunshine for one more day. Then maybe some changes Sunday into Monday. The bigger story, though, the cold air heading in next week, which will help scour out the inversion. But back to the foggy conditions out there, folks. It's pretty bad. Visibility pretty much reduced to a quarter of a mile or less. Let's get another check on what's going on outside. And for that, we check in with our very own Foggy. Oh, yeah, Seth Sanders. That's what we're going to call him tonight. He's out there in the thick of that fog out there. And Seth, we can see you, but just barely. Tell us how it's looking out there to you on the roads.
It's looking like San Francisco Golden Gate level fog out here. I can barely see anything, even like approaching the stoplights. It's only like 50 It is even less. We're also talking about those freezing temperatures across the Wasatch Front, and my nose might be red. It is really cold out here. As a matter of fact, when I walked out, I noticed it was kind of like that glittery fog, almost like a magical mystic wonderland, which means that it is freezing fog. It's not doing that right now, but as we were setting up this shot, I actually noticed I was starting to slip on the roads a little bit. It's not going to be enough yet, but it's definitely getting there. I mean, I was slipping just walking. It's really eerie out here. We're talking like I'm ready for zombies to come out. This looks like a zombie apocalypse is gonna happen. This is like movie fog. Really impressive out here. So you're gonna wanna make sure that you're driving safe out there. Make sure you give yourself plenty of space because you can't. Back over to you guys.
Well, I hope the zombies didn't get it.
It was a precursor.
But there was also the magical mystic wonderland. There's a lot going on there.
The walking set.
Yes.
Right there.
Somebody check on him.
You might say.
Hey, big day in sports, as we've told you all day long. Broncos